Hi, this is Stacy with Lily Bean Crafts by Stacy. Welcome back. And if it's your first time, thanks for stopping by. So this is the last video in my Neon Halloween series, and I'm ending it with my very favorite vinyl that I created. I love these 3D neon flowers. I love the ghosts and the fact that they just look like they're popping out. And I wanted to make something a little bit different, something I've never seen before. So I am starting off with a 40-ounce tumbler from the Tipsy Magnolia, the Stanley style of tumbler. And I took the vinyl and I just cut out where I wanted the print to be on there. And I wanted it to cover the entire top of the tumbler. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the hinge method to go ahead and apply this vinyl and then continue with the next step. And if you liked any of the vinyls that I used in this Neon Halloween series, they are all ones that I created exclusively for Wendy over at 311 Co. And you can use discount code LBC10 to save 10% on your order. And now that I have the vinyl applied, I'm just going to take some really wide painter's tape and I'm just going to go ahead and apply it over all of the vinyl work because I'm going to be doing some spray painting. I'm going to be doing a crackle, which I have done multiple times in tutorials, but I have never seen a crackle with neon hot pink and black. So I thought that would be such a fun element to this particular vinyl design. So I just went ahead and I started off by spray painting the bottom of the tumbler with a matte white spray paint, and I let that completely dry. And then I went in with my Montana Gold hot pink spray paint, and I just covered the entire tumbler, let that dry completely. Now I'm going in with my Crackle medium that I get from Amazon, and I will link that in the description. And I'm going to go ahead and use my, it's like a 1.5 inch chip brush that I use, and I'm going to go ahead and apply it. Every time I do a crackle, I always use a chip brush because I feel like I get the best results from it. Once I let that dry for about an hour, now I'm going in with just some black acrylic paint that I have, and there I go, dropping it right into the paint, clean that off. And I'm using a smaller chip brush this time, and I'm gonna go ahead and run it back and forth really quickly onto the Crackle medium here because it doesn't take long for it to start working its magic. As soon as that acrylic paint starts to dry, it's immediately going to start to crackle. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this all covered. And then I'm just going to take one of my little dryers and I'm going to go ahead and just dry this to make the crackle happen a little bit faster. And now that this is all dry, I'm just going to go ahead and remove all of the painter's tape and just kind of see where I'm going at with next with this one. I knew I wanted to do the neon pink crackle. I knew I wanted to use this vinyl, but from here, I wasn't sure where I was going to go with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove all this, and then we will get our first coat of epoxy on here. And I am going in with 20 mLs of my Flynn Sisters Fast Set Epoxy. One of the things I do with this Stanley style of tumbler, once I take the handle off, I do take some painter's tape and I put it in around where I'm going to be putting the handle back on, just to make sure that it doesn't get a buildup of epoxy on there. And I'm just going to go ahead and get this completely covered on here, pop any bubbles, wait 4 hours, and then we will start moving on to the next step. And once you get all the epoxy on and pop those bubbles, just make sure that you take that painter's tape off of where the little clips are for the handle. If you don't and it glues itself to the tumbler, it becomes an entire problem. I can tell you this because it is something that I have forgotten about and done in the past. I decided to do some leopard spots. It is something that I haven't done in a really long time. I did get these fuzzy leopard spots from Etsy, and I will link it in the description. And I do have this neon pink vinyl that I got from a company called the Vinyl Spectrum that I bought about 4 years ago. I'm not sure if they're still around. I will take a look and see if they are, and if it's still available, I'll link it in the description. And then I just decided to use some black permanent vinyl for covering the leopard spots. Now, a lot of times when I'm working with leopard spots, I will put the bottom or the main piece of it, the neon pink, down, then put another coat of epoxy on it. But because I'm doing the black, any little lines you see from covering up the other piece of vinyl will not show. If you do any other colors, though, it generally will. So I just went ahead and put the black right over it, and I just kind of placed it sporadically, no rhyme or reason, and I just kept checking to see how my progress was, and I just played around with it. I did decide to bring the leopard spots down over the Crackle. It just felt like it was two separate pieces, and it just wasn't flowing together as good as I hoped it would. So I just went ahead and applied a few more down at the bottom. And then I'm taking a piece of black permanent vinyl that I cut out to just put some edging here just to finish it off and make it look complete. Once I have this on, it will be ready for its final epoxy applications. And one thing I did forget to mention is when I put the vinyl on at the very beginning, the beddies are so wide that the 12 by 12 vinyl doesn't fit completely around it. So I did have to take a piece of my black permanent vinyl just to fill in the space right where the handle is going to be. It's about a half of an inch that I needed to fill in there, and most of it's going to be covered by the handle, so it's not that big of a deal. And it's nice because the vinyl is seamless, so it looks like it's just flowing together on both sides of the vinyl, but this is what I needed to do to complete the entire project. And now I'm going in with my final coats of epoxy. I am going in with 15 mLs of my fast set epoxy. I'm going to go ahead and cover the entire thing, pop any bubbles, let this spin for 4 hours, and then I'm going to sand everything down really good and then go in with my last 15 mLs of my Flynn Sisters Artist Cure resin. That is going to give it the ultimate shine that it needs. Remember, I have a discount code. It is LBC10 for you to save 10% on this amazing epoxy. I'm going to let this spin for 8 to 10 hours and then it will be all ready. And here is the final product. It all came together so pretty. It really, really needed that pop of neon leopard print to really bring it all together. The crackle is really cool. I don't know if I'll ever do it again, but I really love it on this tumbler. And if you like this tutorial, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see everybody again next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.